Disagree. Healthy conflict creates growth. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 103 of our Supersize Your Business annual challenge. And today we're going to talk about two things. One, 7Y exercise, because we forgot to do it on the 7th. We didn't forget. We were just busy. I think we were doing the SOAP framework on the 7th, and I did not do it because I wasn't going to triple up on a day. I feel a little guilty doubling up on a day with respect to action items, but this is such an important tool, and I want to make sure that we cover it each area of the life framework, our 9-part life framework, and we don't want to miss a beat, because if we don't understand why improved communication is important to us or why communication is important to us in our business, then we're not going to do the things to improve it and make our business run more smoothly. So the 7Y exercise, you may or may not have heard of it. If you've followed me for any amount of time, you've heard of it. But we just ask ourselves a question, or we have a goal or something that we want to achieve, or we have a problem or a challenge that we're trying to get to the root cause of. And one of the fastest, easiest ways to do that, one of the fastest, easiest ways to motivate us and the people that are a part of our organization, is to challenge them to use this tool too. Because it gets down to the root cause, the real reason that we have a problem or a challenge, or the real reason that will motivate us on the days when things get hard. I don't know about you, but some stuff in business is just plain boring. And to me, that's hard. Boring is hard. So we're going to do that today. I say pick an area of communication that you want to improve, and why do you want to improve that? And we just ask ourselves, well, why do I want that? You make a statement of a goal or a situation, and then say, well, why do I want to resolve that? Or why do I want to achieve that? And then whatever the answer is that pops into your head, you write that down, and that becomes your next why question. You just do that 7 layers deep and see what comes up. And it's always surprising and delightful. Normally I'd walk through a detailed example, but that would give us way over 10 minutes of me blabbing today. And we have action items to talk about. We want to talk about disagreements, healthy disagreements. It's okay to disagree as long as you're not being disagreeable. There's a right way and a wrong way to disagree with people. It depends. If you want to increase conflict and break down and destroy your culture, go ahead, disagree, and no holds barred. If you want to have healthy, growth-oriented debates about different topics and you want people to contribute, then you need to find healthy ways to disagree. Because guess what? Any group of people, even 2 people, aren't going to agree on everything. I don't know about you. If you've ever been married, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You don't have the same mind. You don't agree on absolutely everything. And that it would be unhealthy if you did, because we are growth-seeking beings, and we need people that challenge us in order to help us grow. So today, how can we encourage debate in our meetings? How can we encourage debate and everybody contributing their best ideas to solve problems, to create opportunities for our organization? It's by using and being respectful when we have disagreements. Now, I was in a lot of negotiations throughout my corporate career that were not respectful, and they were outright wars. And I would just sit back and watch the dynamics kind of in semi-horror, but curiosity in that, how on earth do these parties think they're ever going to reach an agreement if all they do is launch personal attacks? They're not, because personal attacks are definitely being disagreeable. When we have conflicts, we want to talk about the idea and the situation, never about the person, right? It's like giving negative feedback in public. Just don't do it. It just shows what a bad leader you are. Praise in public, give feedback in private, right? To me, that is leadership 101. So how can you phrase conflict, and how can you encourage conflict and facilitate conflict in your meetings? It's pretty easy. Ask open-ended questions. Ask the 2 parties or the 3 parties or whoever, how many divisions you've got, to explain their situation and why they think their approach to the problem or the challenge or the goal is the optimal way to go. Why do they think we should do what they want us to do, or do what their department wants us to do? I spent a lot of hours in corporate America in department head meetings, and always entertaining. But one of my favorite roles to play in there was to sit back and watch and observe what was going on, and watch the dynamics and understand what motivated different people in the different departments and different department heads. And that taught me how to interact with those people, right? Because the more we understand ourselves, the more self-aware we are, the more we can choose how we're going to behave and set an example for other people. So how can you set an example for your organization today? I think that's a great question to ask yourself. When a disagreement comes up, and I can pretty much guarantee and say with 100% certainty that some sort of disagreement is going to come up for you today. If I don't actually look at them as disagreements anymore. I look at them as conversations, but that's just our point of view and our perspective. And I encourage people to disagree with me because I absolutely positively know I only know a little tip of the iceberg of what works in different businesses and different industries and in the world. There's vast amounts of people out there that have much more knowledge than any one of us in any specific area. And if we're not open to seeing that, we will stunt the growth of our organization. So what are we going to do today? We're going to do the 7 Why exercise on some topic of communication, or why do you want to be a better communicator would be a great one just to do that on. And then we are going to, when a disagreement comes up today, how do you handle it? How do you naturally handle it? I will tell you, there were years, probably decades, when disagreements would come up and I didn't necessarily handle them very well, right? I'm not proud to say that, but I am human and I'm willing to admit that still to this day, sometimes I get feedback and disagreements with other people that I'm like, okay, I don't know where you're coming from with that. Understand the feedback. Thank you very much. And then I have to go think about it for a while before I choose to respond or not respond. I don't respond to haters these days. I mean, if you're doing anything in the world that's of any significance whatsoever, mostly just existing, you will get haters. The more visible you are, the more haters you get. Sometimes I'll question them and I'll ask them questions back just to play with them. But for the most part, it doesn't even faze me anymore because I just know that that's about them. It's not about me. The same is true about disagreements. If I disagree in a disagreeable way, that is all about me and my insecurity or whatever. It's not about the other person having a different idea and a different perspective. All right, that's it for today. If I can help you in any way, ask. I've always had an awesome day. I'm out of my 3-day intensive. Phew. And it was awesome, actually. All right, if I can help you, ask. Otherwise, go out, make it an amazing day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.